Assassin's Promise by Thomas Woodward. Chapter 44. Kayana stood, her mind spinning. She would need to face the others before they gained a significant foothold, or they would be overrun. Maybe she could fight them one at a time. Despite her quick movements, her body was exhausted. The heat of battle had given her energy, but that was now beginning to wane. True exhaustion would set in shortly after. She had no one to watch her back. The horses would give out in minutes, if not earlier. What could she do? She had to act fast. Moving like an adder, she launched herself forward, searching vainly for a weapon. A woman was already helping another rider to his feet at the very end of the caravan. Kayana crested the halfway point and dove to the side to avoid any incoming missiles. She had seen one of the riders shouldering a horseman's bow. Seeing one of the doors to the carriage area, she quickly opened a door and tumbled in to search for a weapon. The only item she found was the heavy luggage which stored all of Millie's belongings. She reached for it, feeling the weight of it. Ripping it open instead, she found only dresses. Useless. She moved back out of the carriage area, her hand brushing one of the belts used to secure the passengers. She ripped at it with all of her strength. After a moment, the fibers slowly began to tear. With an explosive force, it came free. Kayana nearly lost her balance in the act, hooking her feet at the last moment on the doorframe to keep herself from falling to the rushing ground beneath. The length of leather cord was a weapon, although traditionally viewed as an assassin's tool. The cord was much thicker than a strangling cord, but it was all she had. Pulling herself back up to the door of the wagon, she felt the rushing air move around her. The whistle of a blade passed within less of a span of her head. Catapulting herself up, she pressed her body low to the top of the caravan, its wooden length placing her squarely between her adversaries and the driver's area. The wagon shook. Heaving suddenly to the left, one of the bandits stumbled, the woman almost losing her footing, as her companion dropped his weapon, fell roughly, and began to slide over the edge. He held himself there, but could not gain further purchase. Another shock moved through the wagon suddenly. The caravan began to tip, veering horribly to one side, as the wheels and axles were raised on one side of the ground, off the ground. Kayana heard Millie scream. Moving with keen instinct alone, Kayana found balance and jumped, twisting her body to allow her to catch the other side of the wagon and hold herself fast. The man and woman who stood near the end didn't have time to even shout. They disappeared from view in the blink of an eye, falling under the wagon as it tipped crazily still further into the air. Kayana felt the weight of the wagon. If she fell backwards now, she would be crushed under it. Dangling precariously, she could feel vibrations running through the wood exterior. To wait or to gamble? Kayana made her choice, preferring action over the horrible anticipation of hanging there, her back exposed to her enemies. With a massive pull, Kayana leveraged herself upwards, above the lip of the tipping wagon. Her movements caused a sudden displacement of weight. The wagon moved like an oiled serpent then, falling down with tremendous force. With a final push of strength, Kayana pulled the rest of her body over the lip before the wagon crashed to the ground.